This video is sponsored by Magic Spoon. This is what we're making today. Faith Eternal. We're going to begin by cracking 5 large eggs. I say we're going to begin because I actually ended up almost using 20 eggs. Because of my inexperience, I had to do this recipe multiple times, and in the end, I ended up using 8 eggs for this recipe. So the recipe I'm going to be giving you guys is based on 5 eggs, and if you guys want to use more eggs, you're going to have to make a conversion. In a bowl with 5 beaten eggs, we're going to add in a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, a tablespoon of light soy sauce, a tablespoon of mirin, and 4 tablespoons of dashi. We're going to give this a quick mix, set aside, and then heat up our pan. While our pan heats up, let's go on a quick commercial break. This video is sponsored by Magic Spoon. Let me introduce you guys to Magic Spoon's cereal. What's so special about it? It's delicious and healthy, and that's a combination hard to find. How is it healthy? Each serving will only generate 140 grams of calories, 0 sugars, 4 grams of net carbs, and 13 grams of protein. So what does that mean? That means that this cereal is high in protein, low in carbs, low in sugar, and on top of that, it's gluten-free, grain-free, and has no artificial flavors or sweeteners. But that's not the best part. Not only is this cereal crunchy and delicious, it has 9 unique flavors that will take you back to your childhood. So if you're like me, looking for a new alternative to eat healthier, but don't want to give up delicious foods, this is the perfect cereal for you. Order now at magicspoon.com/chefmar and get $5 off the variety pack. Happiness guaranteed, or your money back. Once our pan is hot enough, we're going to rub it with some oil. This is just a paper towel that I rolled up and dipped into a bowl of oil. The reason why I'm using this is so that I don't put too much oil in the pan. I just have enough. Currently, our pan is on medium heat. We're now going to ladle in our egg mixture. Make sure you ladle in enough to cover the whole pan. After about 10 seconds, your egg should start solidifying. At this point, we're going to lay down our honey. We're going to lay down our honey just before the halfway mark of the pan. Don't be too scared about burning the egg, you can always lower the heat. Once the honey is all in, we're going to release the sides of the egg and make a flip. We're going to take our chopsticks, get it underneath the egg, tilt the pan forward, and when we're ready, we're just going to guide the egg forward. We're going to repeat this step until we get to the other side of the pan. If you have excess egg like I do here, it's because you ladled in too much egg. Don't worry too much about it though, just keep flipping and it'll fix itself. Once we get to the other side of the pan, we're going to ladle in more egg mixture. Then lift the egg, ensuring the egg mixture goes underneath. Once the egg solidifies, we're now going to start flipping again. This time I'm going to use a spatula to lift the egg. Though it was harder to get underneath the egg with a spatula, it was definitely a lot easier to flip. And again, we're just going to keep flipping until we get to the other side. If you start seeing your egg break, don't worry too much about it, especially in the earlier stage, just keep flipping along. After oiling the pan, we're going to ladle in more of our egg mixture. And again, we're going to repeat the same steps. We're going to lift the egg, making sure the egg mixture goes underneath, and then we're going to wait until it starts to solidify. Then we're going to flip again until it gets to the other side. Now, if you don't like going back and forth and you tend to favor one side more than the other, what you can do is pull the egg back, re-oil it, and do the same step all over again. We're going to repeat these steps over and over until we get 16 layers of egg. Now, this tamagoyaki is going to get quite big, and there's going to be a point where you can't flip it multiple times. At that point, you're just going to have to make one flip. A very important note, the more you flip the egg, the heavier it gets. So if you're using chopsticks to flip the egg like I was the first time around, be very careful or it will rip through the egg. And that's the reason why I'm using a spatula to flip. And when it gets to a point when you can no longer flip your egg, it's time to stop. We're going to do one final flip, turn off the heat, and let the residual heat seal off the egg. And again, don't worry too much about your egg breaking, it's the final flip that matters. I let the egg rest on the pan for about 5 minutes before I took it off. This helps solidify the egg more. We're now going to cut the edges of the egg, forming a square, put the Sharingan mark on it, and then get ready to plate. Now it's time to eat this egg. Look at how many layers there is. I think there's about 16 here. It's a very dense egg. Also, if you notice, the honey cooked into the egg. The honey that you see oozing out, I had to add that at the end. As for the Sharingan mark, that's just food coloring. I made a stencil and I stamped it on. Now let's give this egg a taste. If you guys haven't tasted tamagoyaki before, it's already quite sweet. And adding honey in the middle will obviously make it sweeter. You know what this flavor and texture reminds me of? Pancakes and eggs. It almost feels like I'm eating pancakes and eggs. And that's honestly a good thing. I'm actually craving pancakes right now. I think I'll make some. Anyways, that's it for this episode. If you guys like what you see, hit the like button. And if you guys have any suggestions on what I should cook next, please post in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. In all honesty guys, I ended up eating this whole thing. This thing was 8 eggs, and I ate it in one sitting. And obviously, I ate it with rice, because rice is life.